All right, what's Bracken? What's Bracken? Was Briggity Bracken? All right, so I don't want to sound the same like every time and shit. Yeah, man. Uh, I'm gonna put on Do Not Disturb because motherfuckers be texting like constantly. Let's see if these fools passed by. Up, I knew it. That was a helicopter that passed by earlier. They don't really stick around anymore because they already know what's up. But like, I want to talk about some things, bro. Like, all right, so first off, let me see. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna try to break down as much as I can remember because I've been fucking realizing a lot of things, a lot of information, and um, I just want to give you guys the best advice that I can, so you guys can pretty much defend yourselves against this perp shit as best as you can. So if you guys can see, um, the fridge was this is just a little side note, but the fridge, it was facing the wall straight like this to its back against the wall, right? So the fridge was like that. I turned it in this direction so that the motor, the sound, has somewhere to escape in the back, and it kind of like goes out the window. So you don't want the motor of the fridge to be vibrating against the wall because it makes more sound throughout the day and they can use that against you. So your best option is to turn the fridge like this, where there's a space behind the fridge, a space behind here, so that the sound can kind of escape and it doesn't make more rumbling sound. Because what they do, see, because these cowards, they don't know that I know. Like, I know way more than they think I know. And this is just a small thing. This is just about sound and vibration and like and how it can be amplified for their purposes. So they what ends up happening is this sound is fed through the wall. It penetrates, they're using energy from the outside, and the sound is vibrating within the walls, the drywall, and it'll feed kind of like a whole area of the house. So what you're doing is you're taking away the that force that it's able to allow the fridge. So you want that to be like next to a window that's probably open or closed. It doesn't matter as long as the sound can escape. But what I found that reduced it right away was when I turned the fridge like this, and it helped to, you see, because every time that you explain something, they'll try to work on it because you're giving them information. So I'm giving them direct information, and so now they're going to try to figure out a way. That's why you have to be careful about what you say. Like me, I don't care because these fools are mediocre. They're clowns already. Like, I've already dismantled these fucking clowns. Like, it doesn't matter really what I say, but I'm not gonna say too much just to give them leverage in my targeting. I'm not gonna do that because I already know, like, I've done that before, and I'm not gonna give them the advantage. This is a very small thing. This fridge is not a newer fridge, and I don't think it's really been modified too much to be a problem because I would have sensed it already. But this is a new fridge. Our old fridge gave out and it wasn't worth fixing, so it's fucking trash. and it just recently gave out, and we had called somebody out, and they told us that usually those fridges have those types of problems and stuff. So whatever. Anyways, that's just a side note, right? So I've been um, I've been finding a lot of brands of castor oil have either been compromised or they just found a way around it by using certain frequencies or energies to keep the liquid liquefied with inside the ear and not let it dry up. So I'm not sure if you have to buy a certain kind of castor oil, but I've been having this issue lately where um it hasn't had the same effect anymore. You have to mix it with other things in order to achieve a certain effect. And what ends up happening is I'll have one side of my ear pretty much dried up and it'll be kind of closed, right? And then I'll work on my right side of my ear. And if I use the wrong thing on my right side of my ear, it'll interfere of the progress that I have. So I won't be able to sleep. Something will be wrong. And for some reason, which I always know never to do this, is when I know that one side of my ear is pretty much stabilized, like it's blocked. When it's dried up is a good sign, okay? So when you put your hand over your ear and you can feel vibration or electrical uh, pulses kind of hitting your hand because there's nerves in your hand, you can feel these pulses going through your hand. And so when there's not any pulses, it's because you've blocked them mostly out. So let me just kind of like try to pull up a little picture real quick. Oh shit, my fucking phone's about to die. Hold on, let me grab the charger real quick. Alright, boys. Fucking charger come from? Made in China. Alright. So pretty much this is what I'm talking about. You put your hand over your ear, and this is while using earplugs or whatever methods that you're using to block it out. Like if you have castor oil that dried up and your ear, the sound is no longer bothering you. You can check it by either putting an earplug in there, which I think it helps me better when I do have an earplug in there, because you want to layer it up. You want to always remember, like, the more layers you have of shielding, like, so you have the dried up castor oil, you have other things impacted in there, whatever you want to use, and then you have an earplug. Because what ends up happening is I found a way that pretty much, let's see, eardrum. So pretty much, let me show you guys something real quick. So what ends up happening is they try to vibrate this area. So what I found that works is when you impact a little bit of cotton or anything you can think of, but you want something to be soft. If you impact it really deep within there and you leave the cotton in there, and then so the cotton is up against the eardrum, and that's usually where they use the vibration to bounce off of your ear. So when you impact it, they can't vibrate that inner part. Or I guess I would say the eardrum. They can't get past it to get to the inner ear, and they can with certain frequencies, like loud, like high pitched frequencies, sometimes like with sirens and stuff like that. So whenever you're blocking them out, for the most part, you'll block out like motors and other a long range of frequencies you'll block out, or sounds or whatever. But there's certain ones that they can get past, and they'll use that to try to like confuse you, but you'll block out most of the parts. So what ends up happening is I'll get this all gummed up inside within the inner ear. I'll get it all gummed up with castor oil. Then I'll put a piece of cotton right there. And then I'll put a freaking earplug inside my ear. So there's 3 layers of protection. All right. And that'll pretty much stop them in their tracks. And so what ended up happening recently is that I used something I never used on one side of my ear, and it affected the way that the left side was blocking. So in my mind, I was just like trying to open back up the ear that was already closed. You never want to open up the ear that's already closed. Like if it's dried up and it's good and you can feel like it's not affecting you, it's the one that you recently messed with. So whatever you did to the other side of your ear, it's not working, or it hasn't dried up yet. So, and you always got to remember like some freaking, like depending what you're using can counter activate it. So like if you use hydrogen peroxide and hydrogen peroxide dries up and somewhat crystallizes something in your ear, you can use castor oil to break it all down. It'll start breaking down those crystals. So like, or whatever the hell they form. I'm not sure exactly what they form, but sometimes this stuff dries up, right? And there's always like, and then so if you want to break down the oil, you can use soap. Any kind of soap that you want. I have a preferable type, which I can't really get too much in detail, but you always want to try to go for something that is not with harsh chemicals. Try to go something that's for more natural, but still works. You know what I mean? There's a lot of natural things out there that you can use. So yeah, bro, like these fucking lames, bro, like they think that they, like whenever, like for instance, like this morning, right? Shit. These cunts, they think that like just because they're connected for a second, I just get up, I figure out the solution, right? I'll just like, it'll take me fucking seconds, bro, just to figure out, okay, what the fuck did I do wrong? Okay, yeah, that's what I mistakenly thought, and what sometimes I feel like they're feeding me, like they're interfering with my thought process, because I've been doing this for so long that I shouldn't be making mistakes. So I'm kind of surprised how they influence my decision. Like sometimes, not all the time, very rarely, they'll be able to influence my decision, and I'll make the wrong decision when I know that I shouldn't be doing that. So whenever you open up your ear, especially if there's like if they have infected the inner ear, if they've infected the inner ear, like they've affected somehow this area or this area, they're going to want you to break down whatever you have done so that they can feed these frequencies and energies to that ear. It's like turning on a car. You know, if you have, like, if it's wrecked, right? It's impacted, it's wrecked, but you can still hear. It's just metaphorically, you wrecked it, right? And they can't repair it. So unless you give them an opening to repair it, then they pretty much make that connection. They can turn that engine on, so your ear becomes a source where they can fuck with you. And a lot of these things influences and energies and conditioning is coming from a lot of these energies that they're feeding us through these electrical grids. So I think, in my opinion, the best way to block them out is by blocking out your ears, because that's one thing that has helped me to be able to live pretty much somewhat of a normal life within this fucking bitch ass system. I've been able to get relief for years. And even right now, there's sounds and frequencies that they're trying to hit me with, and I already have them blocked out. And see, the thing is that there's always different materials. Like, I'm pretty sure that the government probably even has things that you can use that, that we wouldn't know of using, but they know. And it would just literally fuck up their whole system. There's probably a shit ton of things that we can use. But, like, if they try to mess up one thing, I'm pretty sure I can find another. You know what I mean? So, like, just because I'm giving you guys certain information, it's gonna work no matter what. In my opinion, it's gonna work no matter what, because they could have already figured this shit out. And like, it's just kind of like, I wouldn't say science, it's just logical, because that's just how sound and frequencies work. So just like how frequencies can travel faster in water, in oil it's more complicated, and through surfaces it's more complicated. So, like, through drywall, through cement, through concrete, certain frequencies pass easier through certain obstacles, you know. um but anyways, bro, like, I've noticed a lot um that I'm able to block them out when I do certain things. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that it's getting more complicated, because whenever you tell them information like I'm divulging right now, but see, the thing is I'm not telling them what I'm using. I'm telling them a few steps, so that if anybody ever does use this information, they'll see that it works themselves if they do it properly. Um, and I've been using, like, different types of things, so they never know what I'm gonna buy. Like, I can go to a store and grab a couple things off the shelf with the whole grocery list that I buy. You know what I mean, and throw some things in there, and they'll be like organic and stuff like that. Like, because I've used all kinds of things. Castor oil, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, baking soda. Like, there's all kinds of concoctions that you can use, and some of these work way better than others, and some of these things I don't even use anymore, because I just don't see them working anymore. Whenever I test them out, I have a bad side effect, which means I'll have, like, my targeting will go up. The way you know something is working is if you get good sleep. You can automatically tell that it's interfering with the targeting with their frequencies, especially when it dries up or whatever. You can automatically tell that it messes them up. Like, and so, that's the effect that I'll usually have with castor oil. And with the castor oil, for me, I don't know, it's just different for, maybe it might be different for everybody, but the castor oil that I like is kind of like a light brown. I've tried to use the, like, extra black castor oil, and for some reason, that stuff, it dries up differently. Um, it didn't work as good as the lighter one, but I mean, castor oil works differently for everybody, but I would recommend the more lighter one, like a dark brownish type of color. Um, but like I said, I have a friend that she uses, I think, extra dark castor oil, and she says that it works for her. So it doesn't, it just depends, So anyways, like this morning I woke up and, one side of my ear was just open to them. So like I wake up and I hear them turn on their engine as soon as I wake up. So like within seconds of me waking up, they turn on their engine. And it's just like the same shit of them like turning on a siren or whatever. The fact that you can hear them is the whole point. Like if I don't hear them, if I don't see them, it's like they're not even there. But you want to be able to block them out. That's the whole purpose of it. You know what I mean? So I go in the restroom, I figure out what the issue is. I already fucking knew. I was just like, okay, I already know what the fuck happened. I was just like, now it's gonna take me some time to fix the mistake that I made, but I just I just kind of like patched it up. I put a patch on the tire. I just fucking bam. I did a few little things, boom, 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 blocked them out again. But it doesn't mean that I block them out for good. I'll be able to notice when I go to sleep, and then I take very small steps. See, now since I've used things and they collected information on me, they kind of know how to react. They kind of know what energies to focus on the ear to keep it from doing the thing that I want it to do. And so I have to like be strategic on the steps that I take, and sometimes random, and then it'll end up messing them up. It'll end up messing up, and they can't do nothing about it. They can't do shit. They could just try to like fix the issue, but they can't really do shit. Once I take certain measures, they can't fucking do a fucking thing. So, right now, these bitches are like, they're lucky. They're real fucking lucky, but their luck's gonna run out. Trust and believe, and especially when I move, because they have pretty much a containment field around me that is giving them the advantage, because they're able to use these high energies on me to be able to effectively try to prolong the inevitable, which is me fucking their system up. So when I move, they have to put up a grid right away, and drastically fucking try to get that up, because their panties are going to crumble in a bunch. Because if they give me the opportunity or the time or the space, I will fuck them up easily. So, let's see, what else was I going to tell you guys? I think there's something else as well. Because also clothing, certain type of clothing like wool and all kinds of stuff, you can find certain different forms of it, like how before it's made and stuff like that. So you can use different types of things, because different types of things they resonate at different frequencies. So certain energies react differently with certain material or fabric. But anyways, I'm just throwing that out there in case anybody catches on to that. But let's see, what else am I forgetting here? All right, so I already know I got that shit down. I'm not really gonna talk about that anymore, like pertaining to that area. I just want this information to be put out there. But I want to talk about the energies the purpose of the energies that they're emitting is to pretty much keep us sick, to keep these parasites in our bodies, to feed and to direct these heavy metals to the proper places, and the that stuff that they're spraying in the sky, that this crap.
This is the snow that I melted today, and then I put a big magnet on the outside of this glass, and I'm just rolling the magnet.
The graphene oxide. So like a lot of it, it's multiple purpose, but the main reason is to keep us, like obviously at a low vibration, but it's obviously to modify the body. That's why they're spraying all this shit, is to keep us. It's not only about vibration; it's about a lot of things. That they don't want us, reaching and stuff like that. So.
Worms. We've got a lot of worms. If you're on a fast and you're fasting and you're on a diet and you get a headache, you got the headache because the worms are all peeing, trying to get you to eat something else. They're trying to make you sick so you'll get off on what you're doing and start eating. So you take some arginine and orphanine, and in a matter of 20 minutes, if the headache's gone, you neutralize the worm urine and you know that you're loaded. All children that have little tiny pimples on the backs of their arms or little tiny pimples here on the edges of their cheeks have 5 varieties of critters in them. 5 varieties. It's time to deworm and it's time to get them out.
Here's the key, and you're not going to find it in that alkaline bottled water on your shelves.
Now what I found out is that vibration and frequency is everything. It is literally everything. If you take an aspirin, it changes the way you vibrate. And so it blocks the nerves so that you can't feel pain. If you take deworming programs, you change your vibration, and you change your vibration so dramatically that the worms and parasites either have to get out of you, this is no longer a good home, or they die in you. And then your lungs and your liver and all that stuff handle it. And you do it with water. And out of all of this, I handled my cancer.
Okay, so anyways, I don't want to get into that part of the discussion, but I forget what they're talking about. I think it's like deworming. There's a certain ingredient and for dogs. Or I'm not sure if what he's gonna talk about, but you guys can check on my my TikTok and see what he's gonna finish saying. But anyways, this isn't health advice. I'm not a doctor, so like do your research or whatever. I gotta say that so they don't fucking get all anal about shit. But what's it called? It's all about vibration, bro. Like I've looked into certain technologies, and if you focus the right energy within a room or whatever, if you have the fucking equipment, you can replicate these sounds and get these worms out of your body. Like it can freaking like start taking about like cancer cells and shit. They can like just with sound, it can fucking destroy them. I've seen that shit in footage. So it is all about sound and frequency. If they're feeding us all kinds of fucked up fucking frequencies, it's to keep us sick, to keep us fucking contained. If we were fucking fed the best frequencies to keep us healthy, to keep us in a clear state of mind, things would be a lot different. We would be a lot less stressed. There's all kinds of benefits that we would have if this system wasn't the way that it is. All right. So that's why they have these things in place. It's not like they never existed. It's just that they amplified it to a degree where it's pretty much overrun our bodies completely, because that's the way that they wanted the system to be. What? This fucking bitch. I can't believe they fucking took that video down.
Okay, so
God damn it. I should have saved that video. Another video that got taken down? Wow. Community violations. Damn. Wait a minute, was this reposted? Oh no, these are on. Oh yeah, this was reposted.
This virtually unknown technology is changing lives in over 80 countries and is used now by hundreds of thousands of people. Guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the sticker off the back of this patch right now and show you. This is a patch. It's kind of like a Band-Aid, and when we apply this patch to the body, like I'm doing at the base of my neck right now, what this patch does is it activates a copper peptide in our body called the GHKCU copper peptide. Now, this copper peptide was discovered back in the 1970s by a doctor called Dr. Laurent Picard. And this guy, in my opinion, should have won a Nobel Prize, because some of the benefits of activating this copper peptide include naturally activating the collagen in our skin. It includes faster wound healing, scar reduction, better energy, better sleep. If you scroll down this account, you're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clips of people, probably like you, from all over the world, who are using this simple, amazing, life-changing technology.
Check it out. I don't know, sounds like something that'd probably be beneficial.
Most of you don't know that coronavirus...
Oh no, I'm not playing that shit. That shit'll get this video taken down real quick.
This is a channel message for our targeted individuals. Your enemies are so righteously fucked. You got a big ass court case coming. This is nation motherfucking wide news. I myself have been planting seeds, been telling people about what's going to happen with me for the last couple years now. Just straight up telling them, expect to see my fucking ugly mug all over the fucking world.
Hopefully so.
The next thing I want to look at is castor oil, and I've got some good news. I'm not going to advise you drink it, but castor oil penetrates very deep, and it penetrates deeper than any other oil.
That's why I fucking figured out. Like, I didn't know. I just tried that shit randomly. When I put that shit in my ear and it got into my inner ear, it fucked them up so badly. So, for somebody that's a first-time user and that's being targeted with frequencies and stuff, if they are able to apply this correctly and get it within the inner ear, which takes a little bit of force, they will see what I'm talking about.
So it can be used externally, and what it does, wherever castor oil penetrates, it breaks up lumps, bumps, congestions, adhesions.
Vitamin D for the win, my friends. Check this out. Hopefully that's not too small. You can read that. I'm back up to date. Look, she came back and said, I'm on week 2 and I'm not even lying. I am a new person. My mind is clear for the first time in years. Energy is through the roof. That's why I do this. That is why I do this, okay? Look at this. This is what she's talking about, okay? The viral video I have on vitamin D, go watch it, my friends. But look, I'm going to teach you a seriously powerful hack. If you have trouble absorbing vitamin D or it's not working, quote unquote, for you guys, please pay attention to this video. Don't let your attention span scroll off, okay? I'm going to show you this olive oil right here. This is a single-sourced, extra virgin, highly potent 60x hydroxytyrosol content, it's a polyphenol in it, olive oil from Greece, okay? Now look, taking a quality olive oil, not all are created equal, matters, all right? And if you take olive oil, did you know that these two are a perfect marriage hand in hand? Many of you are not activating vitamin D properly, well, because it's a fat-soluble vitamin, first of all, okay?
Now you guys want to get that stuff, I'm going to order actually a bag of that too. Let's see here.
You know, it's
This is me when I be outside and I see perps around me lingering on my nuts.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, guys. You also want to get a fucking one of these
You're
air
breathing this in,
purifiers.
and I would be too, but I got this that's been going strong for 2 years. I'm just cleaning it after about a month or two. But yeah, who knows what's in there? Asbestos, mold spores. But luckily, this has a HEPA filter which filters those out of the air.
Oh, I forgot what else I was gonna say.
You're breathing this in. This has a HEPA filter which filters those out of the air. Not primary removal, but it helps. You can replace the filter as needed. I like to add my essential oil. The one that's linked in this video has its own essential oil spot. Pretty sweet.
Let's see here. Alright, this is for these perps.
Hey, alright. What's going on, everybody? I'm Sergeant Dumaski. I'm the one that's going to be giving out your gift cards. Welcome to training. You got any questions? Just go ahead and ask them. It's all pretty simple. You follow them, you watch them, you tell me everything I need to know, and you get your gift card. Any questions so far? Yeah. Hey, Sergeant Dumbass. I think that's how you said it. A couple questions before I sign this waiver. I was reading through these charges that you want us to sign that we have acknowledged that we are committing crimes. Some of these seem kind of serious, like the Civil Rights Act of 1968, stalking, conspiracy against rights, illegal surveillance 1809, criminal 1810, civil liability, domestic terrorism, torture, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and then it says see below, look for your state. And we're here in Wyoming. It says Wyoming Stat 6-2-506. What does that mean? All right, that's enough out of you. Next question. Hold up. I mean, it's cool. You're giving us cool gadgets. You're giving us a vehicle to use. You're paying for expenses, whatnot. But is this legal?
Anyways, not to only state that lie in wait charge as well. Anyways.
This is Todd Giffen, owner of ObamasWeapon.com. Hey, so here's my latest research. I'm a researcher, and everyone's been talking about how there's, not everybody, but some people are like, how could the NSA or the government tap into your mind remotely? Well, let me tell you about a couple of systems. Everyone is dumb in the public realm. They don't know anything about the history of the U.S. military or the government or the NSA or the CIA. Nobody. Even the FBI. If you go back to the 50s, I mean, this is the time when a lot of research was getting done and things like radar, sound wave, and electromagnetic imaging. Radar is, in fact, electromagnetic imaging. It lets them see the reflections of energy in objects. They can image things. Radar is very powerful. It can be used to detect something, or it could be used to see something. Image it physically. It's just like, So, they've had transmitters in space for a long time, too. Radio, RF transmitters. They've had the ability to use microwave imaging to scan Earth's surface. They've had maps, detailed maps, since the 70s of Earth's surface. So, and these systems use microwave transmitters in space. So, they've been putting these damn things up in space for a long time. So, sometime in like the 70s or the 80s, a program called Echelon was put into orbit by the NSA. This was to spy on Soviets. This system primarily was to detect electromagnetic energy, radio waves, and other signals. Now, here's, if you go and get on Wikipedia, you'll find something about that. Wikipedia, massive antenna arrays, satellites, and other systems were put out there to spy on the Soviets so that we knew everything going on inside their territory. That was the purpose. Now, this system, there's something about radio waves you need to realize. It's just like light energy. It's reflections. It illuminates an area and lets you see it from afar. It doesn't matter what part of the spectrum it is. So, there's so many things that they could do with this energy. This is energy produced locally and broadcasted from us at them. Radar works more than one way. So, if there's something at the source producing a signal, we can see everything around that area. You can see, and this is everything in the homes, the electrical wiring, the computers, the TVs, everything producing energy. And that is, anything that uses electricity is actually producing electromagnetic fields. So, and that includes humans. And that's something that's rarely talked about. And so, there is a system out there called Tempest, NSA Tempest. That's the one I want you to pay attention to. Now, back in 1985, there was a researcher, and there's something called phreaking. I don't have the full term. You have to get on Wikipedia, look up Tempest codename. Codename Tempest is a system the military has. It's classified, and NSA and military are one and the same pretty much. This is actually, might be NSA's system. Signals Intelligence uses this. That's the Pacifics. So this system can read the electromagnetic energy of any device. It doesn't matter what it is, anybody, any person, and that's something that's never talked about. I've never heard anyone say a human could be targeted with it, but it's true because the electricity in our brains is the same as in our computer or in our anything else, any device. So here's what this system Tempest is designed to do. Tempest, in the phreaking with a PH, they can read the signals of any cable without having a connection to the cable. For example, your keyboard or DVI signal from a monitor or TV or internet backbone like copper signal. They can read the energy from it from afar. So the researcher who did not work for the government in 1985 for dollars built a system that could actually pick up a computer signal remotely. And it was a monitor signal. So from several meters away, he was able to see what was on your screen with his screen. Full clarity. And keyboards can be monitored so they can see what you type, every keystroke. If you're the dashboard in your car, they can see the electrical signals in the dashboard of your car and put together a picture of that. And so this system, also DVI signals, that's the digital interface used for LCDs. That's many wires inside a big thick cable, and they can fully pick up the digital signal. And because they can read the full signal, that's telling me DVI is digital, right? It's either they got the signal or they don't. And if they got the full signals, then that's how they get the picture. So that means that they've got a very high resolution system that can read signals from very small wires from miles away. So that's telling me they have a system that can also read the neurons in a human body or an animal or anything. So that means it's like the most advanced version of EEG ever out there, several mile range. That means that with a little bit of computer software, they can decode the signal just like any other signal. And they've got they're suddenly running a simulation in their computer that's tracking everything. It's interpreting everything inside a person's mind and body, their memories, their subconscious thoughts, their conscious thoughts, their motor control signals, heart commands, movements, sensations, pain, tickling, whatever. And suddenly they've got access to everything inside of your mind because they're able to see every signal. They're able to see every neuron, just like every little wire in a cable. That's Tempest. That's what Tempest can do. That is Signals Intelligence at the NSA. They've got now Echelon. That program was expanded after the Soviets, maybe before the Soviets, collapsed. They expanded this program. They're spying on everyone in Europe, in America. Their system is monitoring signals all over the world. They've got satellites in place, space capability. NSA whistleblower Russell Tice, he mentioned that. He said that I had space capability that we were going after people with. Journalists, judges, lawyers, activists. The NSA, under Bush's order. I mean, these guys, they're all together. They're all...
Yeah, you guys already know the picture. I'm getting ready to eat some breakfast here, so I'm going to probably wrap it up. Alright, peeps. But anyways, just know that obviously the government has technologies, so much technologies, it's not even funny. But, like I said, there's some things you can do about it. So, I'm going to keep on fucking blocking these cowards, and eventually their time's going to come to an end. And I can't wait. So, I'm not worried about it for now. Stay up, stay blessed. The king is out.